Okay. So let's start with an opening prayer. Any volunteer who wants to offer the prayer? Thank you, Amy.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful moment that they gave us to do our group meeting. We thank you for the blessings, and we ask the Spirit to be with us, to help us to participate more and to understand the study case. And we say these things in the name of the Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. All right. So this week, our case study is about power politics in the office and career crisis. So I know we have written our case study and submitted yesterday. I hope we'll get it done. So anyone want to give a brief summary of what you learned about the case?
All right. I think that something this week that really stood out to me from what we read was the fact that in the office there are people that actually do want to like get rid of you if they weren't the person they wanted to choose in that spot. Like, I know that there are different factors in why this guy isn't measuring up in this whole thing, but at the very beginning he started off saying by the what was his name, Mr. Green, Thomas Green. He was told right off the bat from the vice president McDonald that if it wasn't for him in that situation, he wouldn't have gotten that spot because he wasn't chosen. He wouldn't have been the one that they would have chosen to take it. And so, like, from the very beginning, his now boss kind of has it out for him. Didn't want him there in the first place, and now is being extra hard on him because if he's going to be there, he's got to extra earn it now. That's what I'm kind of seeing. Like, he feels he's doing his job the way that he's supposed to be doing it, but at the same time, he's also not doing it the way that his boss wants to see it done.
Yeah.
The office politics in there it's like it's my way or the highway. There's no going off of the office script. It's kind of like I don't know. One person controls the entire way that the company in that division thinks and works, and that's the way it goes.
Yeah, I've worked under someone that I've seen this kind of like politics in the office. They try to get rid of someone and replace it with someone that they want him or her to be in that position. And yeah, it's not good to be in that kind of environment. So for the first question, what do you see as a key issue in this case?
Well, I think as Preston said, is like the environment that's happening right now in the office about, Thomas Green and then Davies being the boss and he not accepting how Thomas work, and then having McDonald as new manager. And another thing I wanted to add is that I think I read that is McDonald. So Davies has been working since 1990, and he's like old in the company. But McDonald was new, and she got promoted super fast, like faster than him. And so there was also like a lot of jealousy from him. And so I think it's just like all the situation happening in the office, like the jealousy, like you don't asking me, if that person was good for the position or not, like why you didn't ask me before hiring him. I think it's just everything. The issues are, like all the situation in the office.
Yeah.
Yeah, for understand for the case was that like part of the issue was part of the environment that provoked each employee. I don't know, could be attitudes, could be situations that could be managed in a different way, but decided to use it always time. For example, I read that one of the media that has, I don't know if Davey with the, I don't remember the name, was to just talk about the how he managed his agenda or his schedule. It's something like it's not the point of what they focus in about the meeting, and they use that time to talk about that. It's like in Spanish, I don't know how I said the phrase in Spanish, but in Spanish is sacando los trapitos al aire. I don't know if Pamela can translate that, but I don't know.
I couldn't hear the phrase. What was it?
Sacando los trapitos al aire.
What does it mean?
Can you translate that?
I don't think that actually has a translation. I think it's more like when you are in the office and you start talking like crap about everyone and about the person. It's kind of like you're like, yeah, you're like this, but you're like this. You know, I don't know if that has a translation, but that's what she was trying to say.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Gotcha.
I think that's really true. It's more like a kind of jealousy because Thomas, who's this? Yeah, Green has kind of a personality that he always walks towards his aim. He has a strong understanding of what he do and always try to get something in the end. All right. Next one. If you were Sharon McDonald, would you hire Thomas Green? Why or why not? Maybe we'll put it like the cons of hiring Thomas Green and the pros of
pros.
hiring Thomas Green.
Well, I think the pro that everyone knows is that Thomas has experience in what he was doing, right? He knew all about the business and he knew about that type of environment. So if I was Shannon, I would hire him because of that reason. But I don't know if he was the good fit for the position.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And then I was like, the pros, he's an intelligent young man, only 28 years old, and he's promoted really fast. And then the cons is that he's not fully aware of the job that he's taking up. Don't really understand the borders around what he's supposed to do. So yeah, that's the cons, but I think he's really good.
Yeah, I think that in her case, I think the decision factor in the pros and cons should have been the fact that she should have actually talked with who his boss would have been. I think that in the pros and cons, like you can go about and talk about all the pros and cons of this specific person, but if the boss doesn't think that that person is ready, because it sounds like his boss, what is his name? Frank Davis? Yeah.
Frank
Yeah.
Davis.
He definitely like had to have worked with him before because he knew of him. He worked probably in the exact same department as him, and he knew the name and had worked around him and seen his skills. Like seeing that, Frank would have had a much better time at telling Sharon if he was a good spot role, a good decision for that spot. I think it would have been awesome to hire him just because young and energy and all of that, but he would have really need to have been updated on what he was really needing to do and not just going off of what he thought was right. And so
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
also in the reading, I don't know, somewhere it states that Sharon told Thomas to go and talk to the other managers,
employees.
yeah, the employees, so he get to know them, and they give him advice and something like that. But he didn't really do that to go out and if I think also Sharon should have followed up with those managers and see if he really does go out and seek advice from them.
Something that I read in the case was that he was smart. He was young as well, and could be that he has all the skills to take this position, but he was missing the experience about the responsibilities that take the position. And I don't know if I'm crazy, but I read something like he must to I don't know, like talk with others to try to be like an open I don't know, open head and open ideas to know, because he doesn't have the enough experience for the position. So I don't know. I will hire him, but I know, but I don't know if in that position job directly. I don't know.
Yeah, for me, it's like, yeah, I would hire him, because sometimes it's always good to have a young. He has a potential. Corinne has a potential. He was good in in his last position, and for my experience, new employee will bring new ideas, so it's good for the company. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, he's young and ambitious. He has
Mhm.
enthusiastic for what he's going for. All right.
But
ahead.
experience counts, and yeah, like Frank Davis, he was there since a long time, and he has the experience for his position. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. All right, now we're gonna move on to Frank Davis. What does he value in the company, or yeah?
I think his value is first his experience, since he was there for a long time, and second, as I studied the case, he always asked for reports from Queen through email, even if he didn't answer him. So I think he's still a good manager. I think.
Yeah.
I think Frank values visual results. Something that he talks about is, I need this stuff in writing, or I need it in an email, or I need it in a like spreadsheet, or I need it in all of this. I need to see what you are physically doing. He wants to see results with his eyes. He doesn't want to hear about results. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he values like more the action instead of just, listening.
Yep.
I think that relates because he's the marketing director. That's why he want to know like future, like you said, Preston. So yeah.
Yep.
Any idea else what you think he values, or?
I don't know if Davey, I don't know. So he has a good things, but I don't know if that's part of value, but I don't know. Go ahead.
You always don't know.
It's okay. Continue.
Yeah, let's just say he value
Joke.
job.
Joke.
All right. What is the end goal that he's after?
I think results, right? Results for the company, good deals with the company, try to bring new, I think it was airlines companies, I'm not sure.
yeah.
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 I also think that maybe he wants more investors, since they're building those little, I don't know, kiosk or
Kioscos.
yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
also I think that maybe he wants to increase the sale. That's what I'm
Yep.
thinking. Yeah.
He wants to see new customers rather than just the
Mhm.
existing ones. He mentioned to Thomas that he was like, I don't need you spending time with the current customers we have. I need you spending time with the customers that we can get.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, Stephanie.
Ah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Continue.
Yeah. All right. For Thomas Green, what do you think he values in his job or the company he's working in?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think what he values, because I mean he got promoted because he became a really good friend of McDonald, you know. So I don't know if he values like relationship. I don't know if he values I don't know, like his individually work, because he works individually a lot. And so I don't really know what he values. Like
Yeah, like you
I-
mentioned, relationship, I think in the case study, it talks about he's trying to balance like his life with the company and also his relationship with his girlfriend, which is in another state. And yeah, that goes with personal goals. And I also think that he values his work, like what he thinks is right for him to do, like the target objectives for the company or selling ideas to the clients. That's what I, yeah, think.
I definitely think like what you guys are saying is true. Right now, he focuses on building relationships. He likes to keep those relationships. I think that's what he loves the most. What he values is keeping relationships after he forms them.
Yeah.
So something that I feel like he put his best, I don't know, or the value in this case, Thomas, was that he I don't know how to explain. Davis present a plan of forecast for the semester of the company. I don't know, the areas of marketing and in the part of sales, and he take the time to search and to analyze if really the type of goals or forecasts that introduce his boss is correct, and in the end the analysis gave it to him that it's not correct, because I don't know what I try to say, that he take the time to really put his head and his thoughts and the process of the company, even the decision. I'm not agreed when he did that next and the meeting, but I like that he tried to feel involved in every step of the company, even I don't know, see if it's correct what our boss say, because sometimes our boss, I don't know how to explain. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I think that goes with the end goal that he's after. Yeah. Any more ideas about the end goal that he's after?
Other than trying to be a great employee and trying to fulfill his job to what he thinks is the best, I think that's his end goal in mind, is just to be the best at what he's doing. He's trying to prove himself, but it's hard to prove yourself when you want to do something different than what your boss wants to do. So
yeah.
Yeah. All righty.
Okay.
Okay. So how do you think the action of Thomas Green differ from the expectation of Frank Davis?
My Wi-Fi sucks. Okay. All right, guys, I think I got it.
According, as we see the organization chart on the case, Green is under the direction of Frank Davis. So following the logic, he must report his activities to Frank, but he didn't. All the approval of the task must come from Frank, and the decision must be sent together above. And I think that it's not a good, how to say that? idea from Green. Since Frank sent him an email to ask for reports, he didn't answer, so it's not good. Yeah.
Yeah, I also think that they have different working styles. Like Preston mentioned, he wants Frank wants like officials to display when they sell out their ideas, but Thomas is more likely like just a face-to-face guy, throw out his ideas there and expect everyone to jump on board with his ideas that he's selling out.
Green didn't not, as he mentioned in the email, Green doesn't not follow up when information requested of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said Thomas fails to inform me of his plans and keep me updated on his schedule. Frank is his boss, his manager. So, as I said, for following the organizational chart, Green must report all of his activities to Frank. Right.
Yeah. Anyone
I
else?
don't know if I'm right. I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay to share what you have in mind. Okay. So the next one is, who is mostly at fault for the state of the current situation?
Everyone's at fault.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I was gonna say Thomas, but then I felt like Davies had fault too. To not be understanding on like the way how Thomas works. And I also feel like Thomas is in fault because he's not taking that feedback from his boss. And so I feel like everyone is at fault right now.
All right. I also think that Thomas would take Frank's feedback a little bit better if it wasn't a lecture of everything he's done wrong.
Right.
I think that Frank needs to, instead of sit here and tell him everything he's done wrong, it's kind of like that 2-to-1 deal. For every one thing that you're going to tell him that he does wrong, you have to tell him 2 things that are good about what he does at work, because nobody in the company is going to want to come in and when they have their evaluation, be told that they suck and never be told anything good, because then they're just going to think that they suck. Either they're going to quit or they're going to revolt against the person telling them they suck. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think that
True.
maybe the feedback he received are too harsh, that he didn't know what to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyone else got any more ideas of who's at fault? Or so I also think that Thomas feels like Davis is also like micromanaging him, his little things that he did. He has to give him update of every things that he does. So that's why he feel like, oh. Okay. All right, let's move on. What actions would you take if you were Thomas Green? So maybe the feedback you receive, or given the warning that you might lose your job.
Right. I think that when you start a new job and a new position, you need to adapt to the job, right? Because the job is not gonna adapt to you. You know, there's already a structure of the job, and you need to be able to fulfill the job. And so I personally think if Thomas adapt to the way they are working and you know how Davis wants him to work, I think the environment will be different. You know, they will not fight or they will not have any type of disagreement. I also think that Thomas needs no, I also think that Davis needs to be more like open on the way how Thomas worked, because I'm pretty sure he comes with this idea of like this is how you need to do the job, and I'm not accepting any type of new ideas or things like that. And so I also think Davis needs to be a little bit more open on how Thomas worked.
Right. It comes with different walking styles. I think that is because he was too young when he moved up to that position. So yeah.
Yeah. It's not enough to be good at work. You have to know how to work with others. So I think Koreans must change behavior to have a good relationship with Frank. Yeah.
Yeah. Change the change of attitude, right? That's what it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also think that maybe he should accept those, you know, even though they're harsh, the feedbacks he received, but if he, you know, accept it and take it into consideration and then try to change some of his actions, come up with stuff like, you know, prepare those report or proposal plans or whatever he's presenting to the clients, and that would give them a fair or what the good relationship when they're working together. Okay. Anyone else want to share anything or any ideas, personal experience? Okay, let's move on. So how does the power and office politics come into play? Maybe you see that somewhere in work or anywhere, yeah. I think that we have covered this one, but I'm gonna, yeah, try to go over that. I don't know, maybe if it's power or not, like Sharon hiring Thomas, he's like a junior inside their company and skipping all the steps that he need to walk through like the other managers in the department. And he got up to the senior, I forgot what the position he's after. And also Frank using his cohesive power to control Thomas in, yeah, like everything he did.
I think about the first hint that we see right there, what does each person want? That could be a very big contributing factor, like we were talking about with Thomas and Frank. What do each of them want? Well, Frank wants everything done the way that it's always been done, and Thomas wants to be able to find new ways to be able to do things. The only way that they're going to be able to like compromise and figure out what's going on with that is to actually sit down and talk. And maybe it is at the point that one of them has to give up what they are wanting to achieve the better for the company. Which most likely in this case, it'll be Thomas, because the company has survived for a lot longer with the way that they're already doing things. So I don't know. I think thinking of what each person wants in the company, and especially when it comes to like leadership roles in the company, what does each leader want to see in the company over the course of a specific amount of time? That could play into the office politics.
Hey guys, we're going to St. George in a couple of weeks.
I think that's really true, because Thomas wanna get the attention of those that are
Leaders.
above, the leaders that are above them, just to excel from his current position upwards. Okay, the next question here is, what are each of their conflict styles? That they give some hint here, their competition, compromise, avoidance, and collaboration.
Well, I thought, as I said before, I feel like there's a competition in between Thomas and Davies, and who's right, who's not, who's gonna follow who, and so I think the conflict here is how their characteristics and how their personalities are. Sorry. Yeah. I got started.
Yeah.
I believe that the conflict style that has between boss and the guy Thomas Green was like, as the Camila is like a who has in charge, like a, who has more power between the area, and they're not like, they provoke like a negative environment, and at the same time they don't see like a okay, let's work together, let's see this problem like opportunity to grow and to improve ourselves and to work better. And I don't know, they like a too pride. I don't know if it's that word.
Yeah. I also think that they should have get to know each other well, like at the beginning before they start working together. And also, like we talk about, they're trying to compete for the position, and jealousy is involved. That's why they went into conflict, like a silent conflict between each other. And it leads to putting Thomas' job in jeopardy. He's trying to work and get to solve everything with Sharon. Yeah.
I think Queen didn't respect his superior. Even it is important to respect his superior, and as we learned from the this week, there is of sentences that explain on whom are we dependent on, who is dependent on you. We must know whose corporation do I need, compliance do I need, and it says that many managers find it helpful to draw a map of these dependencies. As you can see from the map, managers can have first order and second order dependencies. So it is always better to overestimate rather than underestimate dependencies. As I studied the case, because Green know that he's great on his work, so I think he thought that he don't need to the help of from Frank, because he's good at on his work. So I think that this is the reason that for the conflict. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm.
I think that's true. Like in every work that you have, it's good to have respect for someone that is above you, your supervisor or the manager of the company. I think in that way they show respect to you also, and yeah, to work together as a team. And here we see that they may be in the same team, but they have conflict, and that's not teamwork because they're working towards the same goal, and yeah, for the company. Okay. So what should he do? I think that's referred to Thomas Green.
You should have a good, nice conversation with Frank Davis. Conversation where they both get to sit down and talk and not yell at each other. But at the same time, they also need to involve Sharon McDonald in there as well. Get her involved with what's going on in this meeting so that she is aware, that both of them are aware. Because if it's just those two in a group talking, if it's just Thomas and Frank, both of them could go in, have a meeting, and one can say something different than the other. But if there's three people in the meeting, they can get something so much. They can get a third party in there to confirm that this is what they're agreeing on, and they can't have somebody side with the other.
Yeah.
So McDonald isn't biased to either Frank or Thomas. It's just which they just want the job done and they want it done right. So if they both agree and they have a talk, then they should be able to take care of their issues. They just have to talk and understand one another and figure out what they're going to do from there on.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I didn't think of that. I also think that maybe if he doesn't have the skills or understand what his job is about, he should have seek advice from others or ask Frank for help, and even Sharon to get his work done. Or yeah. Another thing also, I think he should like express how he feel instead of holding back his feelings towards himself and not expressing it out.
That's one of the reasons that I believe that it's important that each company provide policies like open doors, that where you can talk about how you feel about a situation or a conflict that appears in in the day of the company. So
Yeah, like a safe space for communication, huh?
that does not exist because you can say what you think, but you know,
Yeah.
something like it's there, but you can use it, but it's there.
Yeah. The other thing too, I also think that maybe Frank want Thomas to, like a boss satisfaction to see, to show that he's doing his job really well to Sharon as a vice president. Yeah.
Mhm.
Any ideas, or we just move on?
We can move on.
Yeah. All right, now it's the application. How can managing up be applied at work? So maybe in your own individual job.
But what's the meaning of like managing up? Like what that means?
I think like, I don't know, I'm not a really good, maybe Preston because he's a fluent English speaker.
I don't remember if I read this in the study. I think we read about it. Hold
Yeah.
on.
I was thinking like maybe go above and beyond what you're doing. That's what I'm thinking, but I'm not sure if.
Let's go on to the next question, and I will look to see if it was in there to see if I could figure out what it was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the next question, what are the principles of power within the organizational structure? This one I'm thinking of, well, I don't know if it's a principle or not, but I'm thinking of you balance out your work and divide them into like, little parts so you can finish it up at the right time, or yeah.
Right.
I was I'm relating it like to schoolwork, your assignments. You go
Like
to
how you
like,
manage like
yeah,
school and life and everything, work.
get the ones that are due first and then move on to the next.
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, another principle that I was thinking that it definitely, I guess is a principle of power, is the feedback. I think is a really good for a organization. But that feedback needs to be positive. I think as Preston said, if you are going to say something, that person is doing wrong, at least try to bring up something that they did good, so they can at least feel motivated and be like, okay, you know what, I'm doing this wrong, but at the same time, I did 2-3 things that are better, and I can continue working and working hard. So I think feedback is really good on a principle of power. Another
Internet.
She freezes out.
No, sorry, I thought it was my internet. It was like, oh no, again.
Yeah. No, I think it's hers. She's gonna come back and finish up what?
Okay, while we wait, if she comes back. So I found out managing up.
Okay.
So managing up is when you use use somebody in a manager position to make your work better. You go off of the influence and the attributes of a manager to help you learn how to increase your capacity to work as a better employee.
Yeah,
Oh.
right.
So So in a managing up in applied in work is, say, you learn from, say, your supervising manager at work, and your supervising manager teaches you that there is a right way to use the cash register. You are to do it this way and it's effective and you'll never miscount money. And make you a better worker. That's kind of what I'm getting from this, is that you learn from others.
Oh,
Sorry if my internet is cutting out.
no, that's good. That's a good, clear explanation. I never thought of looking it up. All right. I also, well, yeah, I also think that being flexible in your work, you know, you don't have to stress yourself out and do all the things, but being organized. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Okay. So any of you have experienced principles of power within your organization? Maybe in your place of work or
I bet there are some for me, but I just can't think of any right now.
yeah. All right. Yeah, I think mainly it comes with organization that are huge. I'm not sure about, you know, maybe there might be or there might be not. So
For the next question, how do office politics come into play in many organizations? Like build effective relationships is good, and encourage debate, facilitate compromise is the key. And I think that for the case, the effective relationship was not built, so that was the source of the conflict.
yeah. I also think that maybe if you ever work in this type of environment, it's good to observe the work behavior and listen to what others have to say, and also try to build a strong relationship within the company that you're in to, you know, gain trust and confidence, of course. Any more ideas? So we just move to the last one. Yeah, move to the last one.
I think so.
Oh, okay. What gospel connection can you, yeah, maybe make with this case study that we have read?
Respect leaders, but I don't know what scriptures.
Yeah.
Well, you don't need to think about just leaders, just like in the New Testament with Jesus Christ. The apostles respected him. They loved where he went, and it's like, yeah, we're not going to love every single boss that we have, but we know that we can respect them because they do have an authority over us.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, same. I was thinking about like leaders and you know how sometimes we are fast in I know judge or command or I don't know, just you know, type of those things. And so I feel like gospel related, the best way to do that is you know, find a way to if we want to say something about someone, probably do it in the best way. I don't know, I guess.
Yeah. That's a thing that maybe understand them before judging them.
I think that as a safe person or Pamela or you, like I don't judge somebody and try to listen and try to understand and provide the best environment that you could.
Yeah. So I think
Just
that
trust. I think trust too. Trust on your boss. Trust on our leader. Like we trust on Jesus Christ, and yeah, we just follow him because we know that he's the light and he's the way.
Yep.
Yeah, and for for Green, he must just follow the devices and the expectations from Frank.
yeah. So I guess that's it for today for our gathering. And thank you so much, guys, for coming. And I'm gonna stop sharing.
Take him for the next.
So who wanna take up for the next week?
You can do it.
Not me.
You, Stephanie?
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay,
Stephanie.
thank you.
For me for the next.